to share with you today is this is called the Stories of Service trunk from the Veterans Memorial Center. So I don't know, has anybody been to the Veterans Museum in Merritt Island? Yeah, very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It's very expensive. Covers a lot of ground from the 1800s actually all the way up till now.
It sure does. 1800s up until now. So it's behind the Merritt Square Mall. It's very much worth a trip. They've done a great job preserving history, presenting history. And again, here in Brevard, we are very supportive and appreciative of our veterans. So thank you all for your service. My sister is an Air Force veteran, so we appreciate you all very much, especially here in Brevard. It's full of memorabilia, and that's what Tiffany and I are going to show you a little bit of today. I'm sorry. Can you see? I don't hate to have my back to you. And so it's at this opportunity, I'm just going to show you the pieces, and then if you'd like to share stories or input, that's what we would like to do. So the first thing I like to show is, did anybody serve in Vietnam here in the room? Vietnam vet? Vietnam vet? Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. So we're going to lean on you to share any stories that you're comfortable with sharing. Okay. So this is the first item. What is this called?
Black vest.
Black vest. Black vest. So what's special about this vest?
It's bulletproof.
What's special about it?
What's special about it? Well, it's heavy and it carries everything.
It's heavy and it carries everything. So I'm going to ask Tiffany to walk this around so you can kind of hold it. It is, but before we do that, so it is very heavy and it's meant to protect you. So I'm going to have you hold it. What I like about this the most is it gives you a description and an explanation. So I'm going to read it to you. I thought it was really neat that they shared why it's important. So it says important armor, body, fragmentation, protective upper torso, and 1955. And it says 70% of all combat casualties are caused by fragmentation. Sorry, I didn't caffeinate enough today. Thank you. Fragmentation type weapons. This vest, including the flexible shoulder pads and collar, will afford you considerable protection from these missiles. However, it will not, and it has not in all caps, protect you from all small arms fire at close range. Take care of your vest. It may save your life. So I thought that was really neat. So Tiffany can kind of bring it around and you can feel how heavy it is. What was it like wearing one of those?
It was in the hot weather. It was kind of brutal.
It's brutal.
But it was something you didn't want to go without.
Something you didn't want to go without. Do you agree? You put this over your shoulders and you put this around your waist and hold your ammunition.
I agree.
So again, we're picking these up with that one.
Where's the beer can go?
The beer is right here. It's the size right here.
Weight workouts every day. Isn't it?
That's the kind of, that's how I like
Bring
to
back
that's
some
it.
memories, huh?
Yeah, sure does.
How's it feel?
That's a straight jacket.
Kill them before they kill you.
Yeah,
That's
right?
it. That's it.
No way to lose weight.
It is the most commonly carry in there other than ammunition.
Your first aid.
The canteen. Yeah.
First aid.
First aid kit.
And you wore your hand grenades on here or on that when it was over this.
I love this sentence. Say that one more time. You wore your what?
Hand grenades.
So you wore your hand grenades. Like that's just where you put your hand grenades. I don't know where you put your hand grenades, but that's where they put their hand grenades. So very interesting. So they had that heavy jacket on. They were carrying that around with them. There was a lot going on. And then so the same time as you're wearing that, do you wear this as well?
Sometimes.
And this is called a?
That's a backpack.
That's your backpack, your rucksack, right?
Rucksack, yeah.
This is actually from Vietnam, the Vietnamese.
Can you imagine it loaded
but
up?
that's, yeah, I think
That's
so.
what
I've got
choice of
my
weights
notes.
with
But
ammunition.
that, it's not the normal. And so what would you put in here?
Yeah, that's the
Beer
one
can.
that,
Beer can.
you fill up with
So
water.
I gotta keep an eye out for you.
and
I got a party
okay,
later.
depends on which one you want.
Little mix
It's all- so then on top of, so then you got that, all of that stuff, and then you have your,
Those are jungle boots.
those are jungle boots,
Jungle boots.
right?
They came out when I was almost coming home. We just had normal combat boots.
Oh, really?
They
And
weren't made yet.
what was the difference between the normal combat boots and these combat boots?
Well, the combat boots were solid leather.
Oh,
They were
wow.
heavier, hotter.
Gotcha.
They
Kind of
didn't
these,
rise
the
fast,
solid-
yeah.
yeah, okay. So those are the old style boots. And these are the new ones. So you've got these, you can take one of those and pass it down if you like. So that's what made them a little bit more user friendly because
They would dry out.
they would dry out quicker.
Feet were-
Yep, and then they have the little holes, breathing holes on the side, right? Because you gotta have a, right? So you think about, you have the flak jacket, you have the belt, you have the rucksack, and you have these really heavy boots on. Yeah. Hold on.
One night about 2 o'clock in the morning, we were sleeping and all of a sudden we heard a lot of noise. Well, artillery shells were coming in right into our area. So, everybody just got up and started scattering and getting anywhere they could away from the stuff, which is hard to do. And I put my helmet on and I ran out through the back. We were in a sort of a semi-tent and barrack. And between them, there was a concrete culvert for rainwater to go through. So the guys and all were jumping in this thing. So I jumped in and I wasn't in it maybe 15 seconds. And next thing I knew, I was way far away. And anyway, a shell came in and it took myself and another guy, I guess, and lifted us, blew us right out, concussion. And it caved my helmet in so much I couldn't put it back on. And so I was knocked out. And I woke up and I found my helmet laying near me and it wouldn't fit. So anyway, I was pretty messed up. I had blood all over the place and couldn't breathe. Anyway, after this, it's all stopped just about as fast as it started. And I went to the battalion aid station to see if I could get some help. And there was nothing they could do for me. So they just gave me an ice pack. So the next morning, later that morning, I asked if I could go to the hospital and they had no way to get me to a hospital. So I had to walk, but I couldn't wear my helmet. So I had to go get a new one. And I had to walk 20 miles to a hospital by myself.
Wow.
And my whole face was so fat and bleeding and the blood had stopped, but I couldn't breathe and it was hot. And anyway, I made it there. They cleaned me up and they sent me back to duty. So I had to walk 20 miles back home that day.
Oh, no.
And
How long did it take you?
I don't remember. It was a whole day. The whole day was
Yeah.
consumed by this whole. But just to let you know, I mean, I took a blow. If I didn't have the helmet on, I wouldn't be here today. But it did cave it in, and I had friends who got killed, and bullets went right through.
So we'll talk about the trenching tool. So what do they need this for?
Digging in the holes.
Digging potholes. I also was told by a couple of veterans, this also makes a very good backup weapon.
It does. It sure does.
So that's right. You agree?
They go hand in hand.
If you're in hand-to-hand combat. So this is from the Vietnamese side. So this
That's
is
what they
pith-hat.
wore.
So you
And
have-
they're a lot lighter.
They are a lot lighter. Do you think they're as protective? No.
Just for the sun.
Just for the sun.
But the thing about the steel pot is when it's 130, 140 degrees, and you're wearing that,
It's
some guys actually had their brains fried.
Oh, no.
They
I
died.
feel like you're cooking.
They give them to you like this?
Yeah.
Did they? Very cool.
Straight.
I just thought that was really neat because what is it made of?
They did pull one.
Water fabric. It's made of fabric, and so that way, if it gets wet, it doesn't run. Isn't that smart? See, feel it. I love how it feels. Yeah. So I thought, how ingenious is that? Is they give them, cause I thought about it. White pith hat?
Yeah, somebody had a brilliant idea to put us in white pith hats,
Why?
so we'd be better targets.
Oh, no, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Well, was the idea for fashion or was it supposed to be for,
I don't know what it was.
you don't
on.
know?
Somebody had a crazy.
Were you guys all like, this is ridiculous, we shouldn't be doing this?
We refused to do it. They put us in formation, we all had to put them on, and then we all said, that's it, we're not going out.
Wow,
I mean, at that.
interesting.
No.
What year was that, do you think? What years did you serve?
67,
67? And then when did you get out?
68.
68. You were busy, Don.
to khaki undershirts
Yeah.
to reduce the target availability.
Interesting.
We had,
That makes a
That
lot of
was
sense
such-
too, right?
That's a simple thing to do, you know.
Interesting.
we had white underwear until probably my 8th month, and then they started introducing the cat.
That makes total sense, right? Because if you see
We
it,
were in white t-shirt.
you're in your white t-shirts and then you, interesting.
But a lot of times the soldiers in the jungle, it was so hot, they just went bare top.
Fair top, yeah, yeah. So again,
That's
when you check, what is that?
That's the flag.
You know?
T-shirt.
It's very nice.
So this is the,
Yeah.
this is the airborne, and then what's the gold star?
It's a major thing.
That's a major rank. Is it different if it's blue or?
That's Army.
This is Army?
It should say on it.
Oh, US Army, yep, says US Army.
Blue would be Air Force.
Oh, so the, I
If
see.
there's,
Ask Doug. Doug down the end. He was an officer. He
Doug,
knows
there you
more.
go, we're putting you on the spot, Doug. So this is this insignia is what?
that's just major,
A major.
right?
So they different colors and different services?
Well, the same shape, but a silver one was the lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel, okay. What if it was blue?
You had the wrong suit on.
Good, Don, I like you.
You should be on a ship if it was blue.
There, I-